Hello everyone, Halcylion here. You know what I like? Difficult games. You know what I'm very bad at? Difficult games. This is why today I'll be playing 7 Days to Die. This isn't a particularly hard game if you play it on the default settings, but that's not what I'm going to do. Oh no. Today I shall turn the zombies in this game into the fearsome monsters they were always meant to be. Because as you can see at the settings, I've chosen insane difficulty. This makes the zombies extremely hard to kill and makes them strong enough to make them able to kill me in 4 hits. And that's if I'm lucky. The 24-hour cycle is kept at 40 minutes because if I keep it any longer than that, it's not going to be the same pressure put on myself. And the pressure comes from the fact that there is a feral horde showing up every single night, with a blood moon frequency at 1 day. In case you're unfamiliar with how the feral hordes work in this game, they're basically a horde of zombies that can hunt you down wherever you are. You cannot hide from them, and nothing that stands in between you and them will last. The only way to get rid of them is to kill them, or just wait to survive the night and then they will lose your scent, but that is unlikely to happen because their speed has been set to the maximum possible speed of nightmare. It's like that guy in the 7 Days to Die live action trailer is saying, "Have you ever had a nightmare? Have you ever had a nightmare that never ended?" It's kind of like that. Anyway, this isn't their maximum speed, by the way. This is their maximum basic speed because I'm playing on the Alpha 18 experimental build, and Alpha 18 introduces a new mechanic called the enragement system, or something like that. Basically, when you hit a zombie, he gets enraged. He goes from the nightmare speed to even faster. And every hit you land will increase his speed significantly. So if I hit a zombie long enough, he might even sprint faster than me. There are some who already do run faster than me at this speed. I'll do my best to avoid them. But with these settings, I doubt I can survive long enough. If I can, I deserve an award. Hell, I'll deserve to be called the King of 7 Days to Die, but don't worry, that won't happen. I will die in day 3, maybe 4, if I can last that long, obviously. XP multiplier, I will bump it up to 100%. It doesn't go below 100%. I advance slow enough. I could reasonably say, hey, I'll bump this up to speed myself up, to speed up my progression. But you know what? This detracts from the challenge, so let's keep it at 100%. I did do a playtest of this map and this type of game style before, just to see what works and what doesn't. And initially I played with 50% loot abundance, but finding one feather in 10 bird nests isn't fun. So I will keep loot abundance to 100%. Last thing that needs to be mentioned is the game name. I didn't name this Halcylion because I am narcissistic or something. Yeah, it is my name, but as I've said, I played on this map before, once with these settings to see what works, and once with, kind of regular settings. And I'm quite familiar with the map, and I know of a location that will improve my survival significantly. And the game name basically determines what location you spawn in. With my own name as the game name, I will spawn into a winter zone, very close to my maximum survivability zone. Game world is Dipola Valley. I believe the game seed was Enough from the Clown. Doesn't really matter. Anyway, we've rambled long enough. We are ready to start the challenge. Here we go. Even the loading screen is a foreshadowing to my spawn location. Dear Billy, the wasteland is nasty, you have nothing. You are completely and utterly screwed. Good luck, Noah. Well, thank you, Noah. Let us continue. As I said, I will spawn in the winter biome, and right at the coordinates of 1444 and 1700 and something, This is the promised land. This is the zone which offers me the maximum survivability. I am familiar with the zone, I know what it entails, I know where pretty much everything is. But I've talked long enough, let us proceed with this. One advantage of spawning in the winter biome is the fact that I have some natural light. If you spawn into any other biome at this hour, there's complete darkness. Let us proceed with this quest line. Craft a bedroll. As soon as I complete this quest line, I will be awarded 4 skill points which I can spend into my skill tree on any perk at my leisure. Of course, I will choose the ones that will maximize my early game survival. I could go for something like, think of the future, invest heavily into intellect and advanced engineering, but if I don't survive the initial stages, I won't be able to make use of that point, so we will take something that I wouldn't usually consider in a normal playthrough. In case you're not very familiar with the mechanics of 7 Days to Die, there is something that we're actually looking at that will help us survive. It's actually a very good method of dealing with infections. This tree stump right here. Cutting down these tree stumps can sometimes give you some honey, and honey is a natural antibiotic. Let's see if we can get a jar. Nope. It would have proven my point, but that's not what happens here. Anyway. Next up, we gotta craft plant fiber clothes. I only have to craft the pants and the shirt, but I'll craft everything. And now let us continue. We need plant fibers, we need wood. So let's cut down an entire tree. A bow and 1 arrow. We could craft more arrows, but I won't be primarily using the bow. I mean, I will make use of the bow, especially for hunting. But against zombies, we don't have enough. We can't possibly get enough arrows to deal with a single zombie early on, so I will just skip it altogether. I will still gather feathers, because they'll come in handy later on if I survive long enough. But for now I need to focus on what I can do. And arrows aren't that important. Alright, we also need some stones. So I will mine out this boulder right here. Alright, place down the wood frame. And next up I'll have to craft a campfire, place it, and as soon as I do that, I will discover a trader location right around here. Right at this location, I believe. As well as get my 4 skill points that I've talked about. Alright, time to place the campfire. There we go. Good job, Billy. You have a trader. Welcome aboard. Noah. Thank you, Noah. Very considerate. And what did I say? Trader is right here. Now I think I've got enough stones and wood for the moment. So we are pretty much done. Let us... we'll craft a couple of spears, I guess. Maybe I can afford to craft a few arrows as well. Keep them for hunting. As for the wooden club, I haven't extensively tested it, but I doubt it's going to be very useful. Still, who knows, maybe it has some impact. Blueberries here. I would normally take them, but my inventory space will be limited, so... Yeah, I've also seen a deer. Let's see if I can hunt it down. Normally I'd use bow and arrows to hunt it. Perhaps I could. If I score a headshot, it would be good. Oh, I thought I was going to miss it because it turned. It turned just as I fired my arrow, but yeah. Maybe RNG will toss me a bone so I can sharpen it and turn it into a knife. I'm already getting bones from the deer. Didn't expect this so soon. But yeah, 15 bones, I can craft 3 knives. Before I craft anything though, let us invest our skills. Perception is a very useful tree. The most useful, I would say. But not one that helps us early game. So we will go into strength. And these are the perks we are going to want eventually. We want this one, the miner's perk for the ability to craft iron tools. We want Master Chef, so we can cook some actual food. We want the T-Rex perk for the reduced stamina usage when using weapons and tools. Then, very important, we have Healing Factor in Fortitude. This will grant us some passive health regen. Because we don't have access to medicine early on, this one is good. If we survive a few hits, and we're still alive, hence the survival part, then we can easily regenerate if we have patience. Now this is a perk I don't usually take, but because we need all the effectiveness of our stamina, we will take it. We will do a lot of running, so yeah. Pain Tolerance is another useful perk, but I can't afford to purchase it right now. I only have 2 more skill points left, and one of them needs to be invested into the Deep Cuts. This one is the keystone to my survival in this world, because every attack, every power attack with a knife, inflicts bleeding wounds. 2 bleeding wounds on an enemy with this perk, 3 at the next perk, and so on. But the next perk is requiring agility level 3, and it will take us some time to get there. So let us just take the first perk, craft a knife, and I still got a skill point left. A skill point which I am going to visit the trader, and if he has a forge, I will invest that skill point into the T-Rex perk. If he doesn't have a forge, I will be forced to invest into this perk myself. I will eventually have to take it anyway, but I'd rather go for something with a more immediate impact, like the T-Rex perk. Anyway, I am talking way too much and doing too little, so let's see what we can do. My bone knife is quality level 2 because of my perk. My frame rate is dropping significantly, I don't know why. But 20 frames per second is unacceptable behavior from my computer. We have some potassium nitrate deposits in here. Oh boy, what is wrong with the performance? This is unacceptable. Something quite important you can find in the world, especially in this game mode, are these scattered tires. You can harvest them for a small amount of scrap polymers, which you can then sell to a trader for a fair amount of money. I mean, it's not a lot, only 19 dukes, but they add up. And if there's something vital, like a portable flashlight, an attachable flashlight, then it would be wise to gather enough of these polymers so you can have the money to purchase that thing. Alright, there's the first zombie we can see in the distance. We will want to avoid him. We are not ready for combat. I mean, I did invest into my perks. I do have everything I could take early on. My perks make me quite effective in combat, but I will do my best to avoid combat, because as effective as we are, there can always be something unforeseen. If I get hit even once and I don't have bandages to patch myself up and I start bleeding, then that's game over. So we want to avoid unnecessary risks. Now we can see the trader in the distance. That's the trader's outpost. And there's also a village, or a settlement, I guess you could call it. I don't know. I'm not very good with names. I'll name it the settlement. And I am going to build myself a little tiny base just in between the settlement and the trader's outpost. So there we go. Locate trader. Yeah, I'll do that eventually. And just the fact that I'm here already and I don't have to travel from 2 kilometers away, this will greatly maximize my chances of survival. Alright, let us do another thing. One more piece of cotton, there we go. And we will turn it into fragments. 20 fragments, that's 10 bandages I can use. And I will be somewhat set for the future. Let's visit the trader and see what he has on offer. If he has something I desperately need, I will do my best to purchase it. First of all, let's look for jobs. Buried supplies, fetch. These fetch missions are quite complicated, so I'm going to stick to buried supplies. I will say why these are complicated when I'm actually doing the first one. For now, let's take this one, buried supplies. Where is it? Alright. Not very far away. Now let's see what he has. Some iron tools, which would be very helpful, but we cannot afford them just yet. A bunch of forged iron. Mining helmet, but this one is too expensive. We will not be able to afford this one by the time he restocks in day 4, so yeah. No useful mods, no useful anything. Ooh, this one would be nice to have. I mean, yeah, it's quality 1, but it's an AK-47, it has a lot of damage, and it only costs 400. Its durability is low, but what can we do? I think we could take this one once we get enough money. We just need a lot of scrap polymers. Anything at the secret stash? First aid bandage schematic, this would be nice to have, but can't afford it. A mini bike, I definitely cannot afford this. If I get a mini bike, I will be king of the wasteland, so yeah. No zombie will be able to catch me no matter how fast he runs. Well, nothing that he has and that we need we can afford, so yeah. Basically he has nothing useful for me at the moment. It's out of my price range. Let's just check the rest of his outpost. A nice fire axe and some acid. And a painkiller, which will be nice in the future. Destroyed workbench. This one makes me sad, but perhaps we can find a functional one eventually. Bunch of glue. Car air filter. Of course we won't carry all this loot with us. We will just stockpile it into one of these containers at the trader's outpost. And then we'll sell his stuff back to him for a profit. Puffer coat. This one sells nicely. Or I could keep it for winter protection. There is a winter biome close by, who knows, maybe I'll wander in there if I survive long enough. And this part of me saying, if I survive long enough, it will become a catchphrase for this series, because I'll be saying that a lot. I mean, zombies are already banging on the walls of this outpost. The outpost is quite invulnerable, but once the night comes, I'll get kicked out. Alright, the forge is functional. And that means I won't need to invest into the blacksmith skill anytime soon, so I could take this perk, the T-Rex perk. Or I could just rush the essential Master Chef and the Miner, and, you know, keep this one for later. Now we'll take this one right now. I need all the combat effectiveness I can have. I want to avoid combat, but I can't always do it. I will be forced into a fighting scenario sooner or later, so I might as well be as effective as I can. Alright, we are pretty well off. We got a pretty good start. All that matters is that I keep it. I can always mess it up with a bad decision. Let's hope that won't be the case. Finding a bunch of food here. Couple of jars, they'll come in handy. I think I hear a wolf outside. If we could clear the area of zombies and skin the wolf once it inevitably gets killed by the zombies, it would be great. That is dealing some damage to these zombies. I think the wolf is actually killing zombies. I don't know. For now, he seems to be working closely with the zombie at trying to break down the door. Some more acid. Well, I think I have quite a noticeable amount of loot. I will need to leave most of it at the outpost though. At least until I can craft... Oh, suit jacket. Sell price 99 credits. Or dukes, rather. That will be useful. This one is a very good skill book to have. I could sell it for 100 dukes, but I'm better off using it. Who knows, maybe I'll get a shotgun soon enough, and then I can use it to dismember the zombies. Blow out their legs, see how fast they are then. Alright, let's see what we can leave here. I will leave it in the trash can. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is not immediately needed, so I can leave it behind. Now I'll take the bones, maybe I'll need to craft me some more knives. Anyway, night is nearly here and there's zombies still banging at the door, as well as a wolf. The wolf will make for a useful source of food, so let's see if we can properly hunt it down. I think I can use this gap in the wall. I don't really see where I'm shooting, but I can somewhat distinguish a shape. Now, I think the insane setting also applies to animals, because this is taking a while to kill the wolf. Or not. It was actually pretty fast. Let's take my arrows back, skin the wolf. I think I hear some footsteps. Let us try to get away from this disaster. Uh-oh, I hear footsteps. Alright. From here on out, I think I have a plan. It's not really a plan, I mean, it resembles a plan if you squint hard enough and try to imagine a plan, but yeah. And this plan that I have involves me building a shack. First of all, I'll need the resources. And because I have an actual axe, the resources will be pretty easy to harvest as long as I don't get bothered by zombies. And yes, I know the feral horde is about to come, but luckily I don't think anything will come tonight. I think I'll be safe. No zombies showing up tonight, because feral hordes are based on game state, and game state is an evaluation of how much you've achieved in this game. And because I'm just a nobody with 2 legs, kind of, I'm not a big... I didn't make quite an impact to attract the zombie attention. The attention of the feral horde, so yeah. I will be pretty damn safe for tonight. Also, it would be good to tell you guys how I plan to structure this series, if it's going to last long enough to be a series. Basically, I'll have a recording session that lasts anywhere from 2 to 3, maybe even 4 days at a time. But each day will be split into its separate episodes. So at the end of this episode, at the end of day 1, or rather at the end of night of day 1, I will bring the episode to a close. I'll say my formal goodbyes, my outro, and then I'll keep recording, but it's going to be a new episode. And it will be released some other time. And that's the sound of the feral horde. I'm confident nothing will show up tonight. But I will still have to be careful for roaming zombies. Just sneak around, and as soon as I cut down a tree, get away from it, because when it falls it makes quite a lot of noise. It can attract the attention of nearby zombies. And I personally don't want to be anywhere around when that happens. Now, during the night, when there's no feral zombies around, I am quite well protected by the cover of darkness. As long as I sneak around and I don't make too much noise, I will be safe. Alright, this axe is about to break. Let's see how much wood I've gathered. Only 700, I'm going to need more. Let's see if we can cut down this tree before the axe breaks. There we go. I cut down the tree, and can I still use the axe? Oh hell yeah, it's not broken yet. But it will break very soon, so let's put it back into storage. Switch back to the stone axe. The good old stone axe. You know, I've just had a revelation. If I survive long enough to actually thrive with these settings against these types of zombies, that's actually going to spoil the usual 7 days to die experience for me. I'll never be able to play this game normally ever again. I mean, I'm already not able to play this game with walker zombies because it gets boring. The way I usually play this game is have them sprint during the day and run during the night. Running is obviously slower than sprinting. It adds an interesting dynamic to the game, and it's quite easy, to be honest. But the way I'm playing currently, I don't know if I'm going to last long enough. As I've said, I do have something resembling a plan. Whether I live long enough to actually fulfill it, that remains to be seen. If not, I will be remains to be seen. What the hell is that? Is that an animal? That looks like a deer in the distance. Looks like a deer silhouette. And we're going to hunt it down for food, of course. Of course. I'm not going to let a lousy deer escape me. Hopefully, because we are sneaking and it's also night, it won't really see us. But I do need to get closer. Only, how close can I get? Did it turn its head? Okay, not close enough. Let's try with the spear. I actually missed. There we go. Spear hunting in complete darkness. It's easy. And I got my spears back. Let's skin it. Tasty, tasty deer. Tasty legs. There we go. We got a fair amount of meat. Plenty of hides, plenty of bone. We are good for now. And I think I got plenty of wood as well to start construction on my shack. So let us do just that. There was an interesting place that I've seen around here. Let's see how viable it is as a base. First of all, we want to be very close to the trader, because if there's a horde wandering in the middle of the day, I won't be able to fight them, so perhaps I can get some temporary safety at the traders. This rock could be used tactically. I don't know whether I will do it though. Nope, I will place my shelter right around this area. Let me clear the field, get some cotton, get some chrysanthemums. These will come in handy later on. Hoping to be done with this by 3:30 AM. I'll need to start the construction soon. And I also have to take into consideration being sneaky. I don't want to attract the attention of a wandering zombie. And we also have some iron here. Very, very nice. I nearly forgot to make the bandages. I mean, not nearly, I actually forgot to do it. So let's queue them up. Also queue up some more cloth fragments. And we can begin construction. The interior of my shack will be 4 by 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. This is the interior. Now we'll place the corners. And now for the outer wall. I nearly said the Outer Worlds, because I am planning to play that game eventually. Maybe I'll get it on the Windows Store. I mean, I'm not a big fan of exclusivity, but at least it's not on Epic. So there's that. Now you may have noticed I didn't leave a space for my door. This is actually because my door will be elevated. Just like this. This will be my door. Now to continue building, let's reinforce the outer wall. I can just be protected by frames. I need actual planks protecting me. This isn't heavily reinforced, but it should be good enough. Alright, morning is nearly here, and that means I will have to do my outro very soon. And start working on the... Well, I will keep recording and I will make the next video. Pretty much. As I was saying earlier, these videos will... I will split each day into its own separate episode. For now it's 6 AM, we still have 2 hours left until daytime arrives. And during daytime I will continue construction of this shack. I will pick up a little bit of iron, take it to the trader's forge, smelt it, and I will be able to make some barbed wire fences to put around the walls of my base, because this base is here to help me in clearing out the area. I need to use it to clear out the zombies from each of the house. It will be like a very intense game of Tom and Jerry, where I'm Jerry. And the zombies will all be messed up Toms on rabies. We don't want any windows on our shack. They're kind of pointless. Windows do not offer any tactical advantage. In fact, they offer a tactical disadvantage because it offers a gap for zombies to jump on. If I have a solid wall, they'll have to just cut it down. Anyway, morning is nearly here. So I'll have to say that this was pretty much everything I had for you guys for today. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye.